So, what's so special about Roaring Spring? This is Frank's school, and I've been explaining since I've gotten back and have faster uploading that I can make more videos. I've been explaining that I'm going to consider Roaring Spring a campus to Frank's school because I'm going to spend so much attention there. Well, not because of that, because it's Roaring Spring and it deserves to have a school, a college, a university. Nothing big, but we can start with Frank's school. What's so special about Roaring Spring? My friend John Saulnier went there just 2 days ago, I think, after my talking about it so much. And he went, he's a photographer, great artist, great photographer, and he took some pictures. And I suspect that he's still not convinced, I don't know, that Roaring Spring is just that special. He might be. But I said, you're almost going to have to go with me for me to show you. You go into Roaring Spring and it's beautiful around the spring dam. The single thing that would jump to mind, what's so special about Roaring Spring, is the spring, the Roaring Spring. It's an amazing spring that's been producing water for, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of years, I suppose. And I'll talk about it maybe later. And it's real beautiful down around that park. And the buildings, the architecture from a time about 70 years ago, spectacular, domestic architecture. But the bottom line that people don't realize, I think, that is, of all things, the topography. Of all the traveling that I've done in my life, Switzerland, Peru, Portugal, I've always been drawn toward mountains. And it's not so much the mountains, but it's the lay of the land. And if you just go into Roaring Spring with a camera and you stop and you look around and you take pictures, you're not going to realize it's so extraordinary. From the football field up on, now I should tell you, it's not a very big town. I think it's got about 6,000 people that live there, maybe residents, and maybe 3,000 homes. I'll get statistics for you there eventually. It's not that big, and it's all very compact because it was around the milling. But from the football field up at the top of a hill down to the bottom of the Cabbage Creek Falls is such a drop. And there's houses not all the way down through there. And then if you go back up near the football field and continue and you drop down into Roaring Spring, well, that also is quite a drop down to the spring. From there, if you turn right, you go up and you come to the water system of the community, which is perched right on top of the hill, a hill behind all these houses, right up against farms. And then if you go from there and you drive down once again, not to the spring, but toward the, what they call I call the triangle. I don't know if everyone calls it that or not. And you get down to the triangle where there are these four mainline churches and, but anyway, topography. And then you take a right before you get to the paper mill site, and you go back up. That's not so much high, but if you kept going, it would take you up to the cemetery, which again is perched on top of a hill, surrounded by mountains. I haven't been there very many times, but I'll be going, and I'll take you, of course. But if you don't go that high, if you come to where the high school, the original high school was, or I don't know, the original one, torn down since, had a swimming pool in it, and then it was the elementary school. It was positioned in just such a way that when you came out the steps of the high school, there was Roaring Spring spread below you. But it's been demolished and new buildings built. But then you go on a little ways and then take a left. Now you're in little streets, lots of houses around, and you come to a place where you've got this view down across the old entrance into Roaring Spring to where they're taking the paper mill, cleaning it up, the site. And once again, that's way down. It's not far away, but it's way down there. Well, then if you come back from that and you go on down to where the brewery is at the tip of the triangle, there again, you're not way down. You go out into the parking lot, and there you can stand and look down at where the paper mill was, and or up at the mountains. Not high, but dramatic, the difference. And that's where I stood as a boy watching the water going over that water wheel for a grist mill that's been torn down since. A train comes right up through the middle of this. You wonder, how can a train go through topography like that? Well, it does. It snakes its way up through this and out on the other side. Oh, and then if you follow the way the train would go, that'll take you back sort of the area of the spring, the train station. There, if you take a right now, you'll go up to where there's a ball field, Little League ball field for children really. There's a park there. And on the far side of the park, there's a street. Now you're in an area called a hogback. Now hogback is the name of a ridge with a very steep top to it. And that's just what that is. The road, there's two streets go along hogback. And if you look down on the far side, now you're looking down to the, in the direction of where that Cabbage Creek Falls is again. I can't describe it, and as I say, if you just go and you stop and you just look around, you won't see it. But I'm going to try to get it across to you. That's enough for now. I'm going to see how quick this will upload, and I've got a little bit more I want to say about this.